final match of the night in round 2. That is Stephen Bunting against Ryan Joyce. Got Clayton against Schindler up shortly, but first on talkSPORT 2, let's hear from one of the unseeded players that took out a seed. All 4 matches in the afternoon session saw the seeded player go out. The third last of which was Jermaine Wattimena, the machine gun, winning for the first time at Blackpool's Winter Gardens at the 5th attempt, and he saw off Peter Wright. And after the win, Wattimena spoke to talkSPORT 2's Mark Wilson. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Good to have you back, Will. A very happy and somewhat relieved sounding Jermaine Wattimena through to round 2, where he will face the winner of the third match on tonight, Luke Littler against Ryan Searle. Lots of luck with that. Once you get through to the second round, you think getting through the first round is a sense of relief, then you're up against potentially the world champion or a guy that consistently hits ton plus averages.
It never gets an easier dance. It's as simple as that. If you want to win titles like this, you're going to have to go and run the gauntlet. And first and foremost, he gets a world champion and a former matchplay champion. He runs that gauntlet, he finds his way through to get a first win. The relief that Jermaine will be feeling right now, it'll be like nothing he's ever felt in his career, because he hasn't won a title within the PDC, but it will feel today like he has. Congratulations to him, and also congratulations to Gary Anderson for winning that previous match.
Well, we were watching that backstage as Anderson was, well, I don't want to say labouring to the win, but he certainly had to work really hard within himself to get the technique and the throw right, changed his points and changed the back again during the course of the game, because clearly nothing was flying the way he would want it.
Well, if we look at the game as a whole, he's averaged 98.02, he's won 10-5, and he's got 67% on his doubles. As a performance, without actually looking at the intricacies of it, it looks very good. Compared to some of the other performances, like James Wade and maybe what Wessel Nyman did last night, what Van Veen did, maybe not as good. But the fascinating thing about Anderson right there, he was like a Formula 1 car in that 15-leg match. He had 2 tyre changes. The first one didn't work. He went out on the track initially with the wrong tyres. Then he figured out that the first tyres were better than the second tyres, and by the end of the match, he had it nailed. Because at 5-5, you're thinking anything could happen here, but then in the final session, he wins 5-0, and all of a sudden, it looks comfortable. It was a case of Anderson figuring it out, and Woodhouse not being able to beat a world-class player in Gary, even when he's not on his full tilt.
No, that's all about experience, really, with somebody like Gary Anderson, knowing how to rectify these slight changes in the game. And that could have been the temperature in the room, the humidity, the way the darts were flying, because it is starting to get a little bit closer in this Empress Ballroom at the Winter Gardens. It's another packed, you can't get a ticket for love nor money for this place. 2,500 dart crazy fans here every single session, some in fancy dress, plenty of darts purists here. and they're about to see the ferret take to the stage. And I think if anybody's had a real revival in fortunes and a lovely career trajectory as we move from 2024 into 25, it's the 23 runner-up, Jonny Clayton.
Yeah, I like what Johnny's done this season. The way he played when he won a Players' Championship earlier this season, PC 14, he beat Dominic Grulich in the final, but in Rosmarlen, to win that day, he was irresistible. He was on majestic form. Something about Rosmarlen this year, because when he went to the Dutch Darts Championship, a venue where he lost in the final the previous year to Josh Rock, he went one better this year, beating a very good Nico Springer. Here to say we told you so about Nico Springer, by the way.
Yeah. But
beat him 8-6.
That'll come to pass. That'll come to fruition.
8-6 in the final. Johnny was exemplary in winning his first European Tour title outside of Austria to get his third in total. But the new darts at the start of the year, makes the World Masters final, loses to Humphries in the last leg decider. There's just so much to talk about with Johnny. He's got
new darts is a big thing. Michael Smith changed his darts and the tail off in foot, combined with the problems with his wrists and everything, yes. But changing your darts is a fundamental part of your makeup as a dart player, and you change them at your peril, I suppose.
Yeah, it is a risk, but Johnny wouldn't do it if he wasn't right for him. He's not actually gone back to the old ones at any point. When he figured out that he wanted to make an enhancement, he wanted to go for a new dart in January, his process with Lee Huxtable, his engineer, they figured it out and he debuted them at the World Masters in January. Got him to the final and he thought, right, obviously they work, let's keep going with them. That's what he's done. And he's had a fabulous season so far. And yes, he's defending 100,000 ranking points in this tournament, Dance. And we talked about Aspinall last night defending double that because he won the tournament in 2023.
Sure.
The worst case scenario for Clayton is that he's down to number 11 in the world as it stands. That's with the 100,000 off.
Okay.
But there's no reason to say that he doesn't make the final again this week to vault his way back into the top 5 in the world.
Forgive my ignorance, but there'll be people listening to this that want to know, is the new dart fundamentally different to the old dart, or is it just slight tweaks here and there?
It is actually quite different. His previous one was quite sharply tapered towards the point. The new one's got a little bit more of a bulbous end to it, not to the same degree as, say, Gary Anderson, whose darts look like the end of a spring onion. But Johnny's just weighted the dart a little bit more intelligently, and as a result of that, he's getting a more consistent angle in the board. As a result of this, Mason and I have looked at his 180 prowess in 2025, and his 180 scoring has gone through the roof. He's always been known as a classy finisher. He's still got that quality, but his scoring has improved, which is why he has already won multiple times this season.
We may be describing, in that case, quite a number of ferret finger points towards our general area or the camera that's nearest to him when he hits a maximum. But Martin Schindler, let's talk quickly about his opponent who hasn't won here at Blackpool, but his 2025 has been pretty good. Win on the Pro Tour, win on the European Tour that he absolutely loved and lapped up for all it was worth, and quite right too.
Yep.
So how much of a test is he for the ferret here?
Big test. He's the best German dart player ever. Everything points to that now. He's better than Max Hopp was. He's better than Max Hopp is. He's better than Clemens. He's better than Pietreczko. There could be people who overtake him in the future, like Springer or maybe Dominic Grulich. But the fact is, he's won 3 European Tour events now, just like Clayton. And he, the German, is the current green jacket wearer. He won in Austria this season and has won his first floor tournament as well. This is a head-to-head that a lot of people have found difficult to call, but most people who have had to make a call have gone for Clayton because of the fact that he's done more at Blackpool than Martin has.
Darts on the Radio is back, and we're so happy that it is. We're also on the talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel for our live free watch-alongs. Like and subscribe. It doesn't cost you a penny to subscribe and like, and you get loads of great content on there. And of course, for the talkSPORT app, if you're listening via the app, you can take us wherever you go. If you're off for a walk with a dog, or just off for a general walk around, What are you grimacing at, Paul? Are you listening to John McDonald's introduction of Martin Schindler? Or is it the intro music? Because
Since when did Martin Schindler walk out to Eminem?
it used to be Ich Will by Rammstein, but you're right, it is now a bit of Eminem. Well, that's a change. Maybe he felt Rammstein wasn't going over so well. I mean, not many people I know about Rammstein, but they're not particularly well known outside of rock circles.
It works in Germany, it works in Austria, and in certain parts of the Netherlands, but maybe when you come to Blackpool, you want something a bit more recognisable. Well, everybody knows who Shindy is. He's our favourite little Uta lookalike from The Simpsons. But he
no
is,
chocolate around his face.
He's a fabulous dart player, and the way he's transformed himself over the last few years to turn himself into the highest ranked German player ever in the PDC rankings. He's number 17. Nobody else has done that from Germany. If he were to win this game, he's got a legitimate shot at getting in the top 16. And he's giving the crowd a little bit of something to think about. But don't do that when you're about to play Jonny Clayton.
No, they've given him a few playful boos there as he's taken to the stage. But there are a couple of Welsh flags dotted about the Winter Gardens Emperor's Ballroom tonight. And there's quite a few toy ferrets, one of whom was just bobbing his head along to Eminem. But now he's going to be playing air guitar because a bit of Chuck Berry heralds the arrival of Jonny Clayton, the man from Wales who made the final here 2 years ago but ended up getting fairly comprehensively beaten by Nathan Aspinall. But a more likeable man you will not find on the PDC Tour. There's plenty of candidates for that particular accolade, but you're hard-pressed to find a more likeable person than Mr. Jonny Clayton.
He is everybody's favourite dart player. It's as simple as that. And if he ran for Prime Minister, he has my vote. Whatever he wants to do in his life, he's got the backing of his family, his friends. Us as a darting community, we all adore him. He is one of the nicest human beings on this planet. But on the dartboard, he is an absolute animal.
So both players are on the stage now, and they will take a few practice starts before we get underway. Just a reminder, in case you're not aware, it's first to 10 legs that advances to the second round of the World Matchplay. And the winner of this will take on Mike De Decker, who was one of the players to knock out a seed, although so many of those matches this afternoon were really a flip of a coin between the seeded and unseeded player. And as it turned out, all the seeds bit the dust. What of Jonny Clayton, who is the number 5 seed going into these championships? I seem to remember 2 years ago when he reached the final, it was also in amongst an awful lot of personal stuff going on in his life. His father was very, very poorly and did subsequently pass away. My, how he channeled that, you know, into getting deep into this tournament. But 2 years on, here he is playing some of the best darts he's played in a long time. And these two, boy oh boy, they must be sick of the sight of each other. They've met 5 times this year alone, including in the Masters and the UK Open. Jonny Clayton won both of those matches in ranking tournaments. And we're off and running for match 2 of the night. And Schindler, hits a 177 coming down to treble 19 to get things going.
Here we go, Clayton in, maximum. This game's going to be amazing. You can feel it. Wales versus Germany. I mean, what more could you possibly want on a Sunday night? Are we going to get a perfect leg in this leg? Schindler's not going to deliver it, but we've already had a ferret finger point towards the commentary box. Clayton misses dart 4, so more boos in Blackpool, but what a start.
Yeah. Clayton in Welsh red and black. Shindy in that sort of classic German football strip of white tinged with black around the collar and the shoulders. The wall, Martin Schindler, much the smaller man of the two. Clayton back in the red bit with this third visit. Oh, he's second 180, another ferret finger point, but Shindy can win this leg with 99.
Well, it's a nice place to get in 99. Blackpool, 57 hit. Single 10, double 16. Misses double 16, a little bit too far left as Clayton's got 41. He's going to hit this. Single 9, double 16. He's missed it just inside with double 8. There you have it. Clayton gave us 2 finger points in that leg, courtesy of the 2 maximums. And then he gives it to here's Johnny through the door, no axe, 1-0 Clayton. That was classic Johnny.
12 dart break of throw to get the Welshman off and running. Brilliant stuff. What a great leg of darts that was, and that was just the opener. So Schindler up against a man who's won Pro Tour and European Tour titles this year, and you were talking about his 100+ averages, 600+ averages this month alone for Clayton, and his average at the moment is, it's early doors, but it's 120 in these early stages.
103 he averaged when he won that Players' Championship in Rosmalen for the tournament over 7 games. That was one of the best daily performances of the season. His first start in this match so far, it's so good. There's another maximum. It's 3. It's not even the end of leg number 2. Schindler already knows that Clayton is in the groove. 98 left after 9.
But
here
so
comes Martin Schindler.
140 in the end. Third dart just deflected away. 98 for Clayton, just over the top of the red bit. 78 left. Treble 18 for double 12, just wide of double 12, half an inch high. Schindler has got a check out of 136 to go for here.
Here we go, 136, first dart incoming, gets the 60, needs another one. Does he get it? He went for double 18, that was an intentional shot. He was just a little bit low on it. Second single 18 found, but Clayton, with a 1-0 lead in this game, is going for double 12. Finds it in the bottom left corner, and he's 2-0 up, playing sensationally. And Schindler is very much on the back foot. He's got to kick back and find something to worry Clayton, who looks about as worried as Scotty Scheffler is right now, clasping the claret jug.
Clayton looks laser focused, and he's in for another maximum. All the third dart just deflects into small 20. But we've had 12 and 13 dart legs that Clayton has won in these early stages. And Schindler, who's not playing badly himself, he's averaging 106 at the moment. But in these early stages, Clayton right on it again. First start in the red bit, and the second comes downstairs. Does he? No! Stays upstairs, and another finger point because of another maximum. Goodness me.
My words. The way he must be feeling right now, he might be thinking, you know what? Nobody plays this well at Blackpool, not even Phil Taylor.
I remind you all listening to talkSPORT 2 that 114 is the best average in a World Matchplay fixture from Phil Taylor against Barry Bates a lifetime ago.
Yeah, 114.99 is almost 150, and that was a simply ridiculous performance. This is good from Shindy. Another 140 from him to leave 106 in leg 3. He's 2-0 down, but Clayton is on a signature 1-2-1 shot. There's your single 20. He doesn't get your treble 17, so he's not going to have a shot at the bull. Schindler needs to get a dart at a double. He hasn't had one since leg 1. 106 coming in.
Make that 86 with a single 20. Treble 18 was the aim. He hit single, so he's just having to lay up. Clayton on a 2-darter here. Treble 16 for double 8. Treble 16 hit, double 8 for 3-0. One more dart left, and he's got it. Boy, oh boy. I mean, his average has dropped because he's had 2 darts at the double. But Jonny Clayton is laying down one hell of a marker in these early legs. And as I mentioned, Schindler, who is not playing at all badly, is just coming up against a guy who is hot to trot.
40 darts for the first 3 legs. 12, 13, 15, his worst leg of the match. He's going to have the lead at the first break, but how big is that lead going to be? Schindler has never won at the World Matchplay in previous attempts. In fact, only one German player has ever won at the Winter Gardens, and that was Max Hopp 6 years ago when he won his first round match on debut. Since then, Gabe Clemens is the only German to have won in the match play, but he did it in Milton Keynes. 2-7-1 Clayton. Schindler's crushing his score. 2 consecutive 140s. He's averaging 110 and losing 3-0.
Madness. It is his 4th appearance at these championships, Martin Schindler. And as Nico rightly says, never passed round 1. But he's keeping his composure really well. Others in this situation would have started to show signs of exasperation. Not the wall. Down to a finish from 221 to 87, a chance to break back.
First start Clayton in the 60, of course. It has been most of the time. 97 its total score, at least 74. Schindler should get a dart at a double here from 87. Down for the treble 17 and gets it, so he's got 2 if he needs them. 1 at double 18 is just high. Second dart nestled in perfectly. Shows a little bit of gumption there to Schindler. I like that, because he's got to try and get into this game somehow. If he can be 3-2 down at the break, that's a little mini win for Martin. The mini man from Germany.
Yeah, most definitely be not happy, but he'd be less concerned. But starts off with a 34 with 2 single 7s when coming down for 19s, and that hands the initiative back to Clayton. He hits a treble 19 where Schindler failed, but he's only half a dart ahead, I would say.
You look at the new flights of Jonny Clayton, because last year he was using foldable flights. He's gone with the fashion at the minute of using moulded flights. They're a somewhat see-through red colour. They almost remind me of a pair of sunglasses that Gareth A. Davis would wear.
Or Bono.
100.
You don't know Bono. Certainly don't. Schindler, 3-3-1 less these. Now he hits treble 19. Oh, and then a bounce out going for another treble 19 is unfortunate.
Yeah, that's not good. The walls just hit the floor. And this is hitting the 60 from the ferret. Beautifully done. 2 treble 20s, and on 305 he went for the bullseye to leave a finish and gets it. 170 to leave 135, and this revival from Schindler might be stunted. However, he's done well to get a 140 to leave a slightly easier finish of 114. Clayton 135.
Needed the bull first. Can he get treble 20 to go back to the bull? No, he can't. Single 20, but a good pick off of treble 18 to get down to double 18 for a 4-1 lead. But Schindler, oh, he wanted 114 and hit 5. Can't take out 109 with 2 darts. So Clayton can go 4-1 up at the mini break.
Double 18 for a 4-1 lead. First dart, right in there. A spirited Clayton has played absolutely out of this world to take a 3-leg advantage into the first break. One of the fancy names for the title. He'd like to go one better over the course of the next 8 days. His first mission was to get a good start in the first round, and against Martin Schindler he's done just that, with 57% on the doubles, averaging 112.2 at the break. Jonny Clayton is 4-1 to the good on talkSPORT 2.
here at the Winter Gardens in Blackpool. Ian Danter and Paul Nicholson with you. The England Lionesses take on Italy on Tuesday night on talkSPORT in the semi-finals of the Women's Euros 2025. Make sure you're with Adrian Durham, Joe Shannon, Tash Dowie and Courtney Sweetman-Kirk for live coverage of that semi-final. But here at the Winter Gardens, Jonny Clayton of Wales is 4 legs to 1 up against the German number 1 Martin Schindler. It's a race to 10 legs to get through to the next round, and whilst seeds have been tumbling left, right and centre in these early matches in the Emperor's Ballroom, Clayton is looking in imperious form, Nico.
Yeah, he really is. And I suppose when you liken darts to golf like we have been over the last couple of days, this afternoon it's as if the visiting team were winning the foursomes, taking all of the games on the right-hand side. But tonight, the other team are fighting back, so the seeds are fighting back. Gary's won 10-5 against Luke Woodhouse. Jonny Clayton here really imposing himself from the off. Schindler started this game so well, but Clayton was having none of it. It wasn't going to be 5-0. The one leg that Schindler won, he commanded it very, very well. But the way that Clayton's playing here, if he continues this way, there's no way that Schindler's going to win his first game at the match play tonight. The first start of Clayton has been simply irresistible.
And he does start with a ton at the beginning of leg 6. Clayton has the darts in these even-numbered legs. Schindler, who draws the dart back very deliberately to the edge of his right eyebrow. There's a little indentation near his right eyebrow, and I've always wondered whether it's the constant flight being pulled back against his skin that's just caused this slight indentation there on his face.
Yeah, he used to bring the dart back a little bit higher towards his forehead, but worked with his coach, Yanis Salashoglu of Greece, and he's also someone who's very responsible for looking after his mental health within the game. Very, very good dart player, in fact, Yanis, but his technique has improved, and as a player, he's looked at every single facet of his game, and that's why he's the German number 1 and number 17 in the world. Clayton on 208 after 9 darts. Schindler's about to join him in that vicinity. 125, leaves himself on 232.
Tell you what, if Schindler had been playing one of the seeds this afternoon, he could be ahead at this point, because he'd have chances at double that Clayton is simply not giving him if he'd been playing one of the 4 seeds that went out earlier. But 2-3-2 Schindler at this point. Clayton's down to a finish on throw of 148. And that's a good 140 from Shindy, just to pressurise the Clayton throw here.
Yeah, 148 was a finish we saw earlier on from Mike DeDecker to beat Dave Chisnall. 60 twice, double 14. Clayton misses it inside by about a centimetre and a smidgen more. Leaves himself on double 7. Schindler on 92, 4-1 down. First start is a small 20. Has to go to 2 double 18s now, and he's too high on the first attempt, so the shot is off.
So Clayton's back in. Will he split double 7 and go double 4, or will he go for... He's going for double 7. He's direct at it on the wire outside, but a great marker which he uses. He wasn't sure the dart was in, but Hugh Ware called it, and Jonny Clayton looked a bit surprised, retrieved the dart. Oh yeah, it was in. 5-1 the score.
He had a Chris Kamara moment there, didn't he? Yeah. It was in. He went, I don't know, Jeff.
Was there? Red card. Anyway, the red darts of Jonny Clayton, the new red darts of Jonny Clayton are working to very good effect in this first round encounter.
Do you know when Stephen Bunting went up 6 grams and we were saying Stephen was looking at the new setup and the results he was getting, and wouldn't be surprised if he was thinking, why didn't I use these earlier? I think Clayton's starting to feel the same about these things. They're going in at very horizontal, neutral angles every time, whereas his previous darts had a little bit of fluctuation about them. It's taken him a few years to get to these, but now he's got them. He's not going to let them go. And Schindler shows a little bit of, at last, I found my first maximum of the game. He's going to need more, but he is bossing this 7th leg of the contest at 5-1 down.
Chance for a 12 darter here. 101 for Shindy. Hits a 19. Bullseye hit. double 16, and he's only just inside. But he will be back because Clayton is having a poor leg by his standards. Only on 3-4-2 after 9, the ferret.
Yeah, that'll do a little bit of damage. 2 treble 20s and a 19, sandwiching those 2 darts. There's Schindler hitting double 8 to get himself a lovely 13 dart leg, to get himself 3 legs behind, but still in a whole heap of trouble.
How often in your career did you change your darts?
Well, when I was with a certain manufacturer about 12, 13 years ago, I would change my actual darts every 2 weeks because the grip was so sharp. Because it would wear down so quickly, I'd change them. But as of the construct, not very often at all.
Okay.
Maybe once every 3-4 years.
Chris Mason still using the same darts he had back in the 1980s.
Old school.
Yeah, proper old school, his Mace. He'll be back with Mark Wilson for our 3rd match of the night, which is the world champion Luke Littler against Ryan Searle. And then Stephen Bunting, who we were just talking about with his heavier darts, taking on relentless Ryan Joyce. But here, good visit from Martin Schindler. 5-2 down against Jonny Clayton, the number 5 seed. Desperate to break back and make a game of it. And Clayton's game has just dropped off a notch in these last leg and a half, offering Shindy the chance to get himself closer.
Yeah, Clayton's lost about 3% since the break, and Schindler has gained about 3 to 4%, so he's gradually eating away at the ferret here. Leaves himself 170 after 9, which is a good effort. Clayton's going to be better off. 256 turns into 76, courtesy of that 5th maximum. Schindler, though, on the big fish, or as they say in Germany, gross fish. And his shot is not big enough. Only 45. Clayton's back for 76 to take his 6th leg of the contest at the loss of 2. There's a treble 20, double 8. He's got a lovely marker on the outside and uses it so well. Just nestles in underneath and to the right. And Clayton, after a tiny little blip, has found himself 6-2 up. The confidence coming off the Welshman right now. You can see it, you can hear it, you can feel it.
Very, very tangible how comfortable he is up there, Jonny Clayton, against an opponent who, you know, looking for that first win. 55. And now that Wattimena has collected his first win in 5, we're looking down the list of the players who've played here the most without winning, and the actual top of that list would be the most incredible shock to you listening when Paul Nicholson tells you who it is.
Yeah, looking at it earlier, we were digging into Jermaine's career, and I was curious to see who had played the most games at Blackpool without getting a win. And believe it or not, it is Eric Bristow. I was flabbergasted. I can't believe that Mace didn't know that. Now we know it. It's something that kind of makes sense for the 1990s, but you wouldn't associate something like that with Eric.
100. So into leg number 9, 6-2 to Clayton. We're a couple of legs away from another short interval, and Schindler looking for a maximum, gets his 2nd, and he does a ferret finger point. Hello, trying to get inside the ferret's head.
All right, I'm not going to go full Harry Enfield here, but you don't want to do that. You don't want to poke the wolf or the ferret on that stage. 55 for Schindler to be 6-3 down. That's exactly what he's done. That's a lovely 14 darter from Martin. But the last thing you want to do is antagonise the ferret. Now, the reason I say that is Johnny's not going to take offence to what Martin's just done, but the fans won't like it. And this is a place where the fans are very intelligent to the little idiosyncrasies of the favourites like Clayton and others. If you mimic, that's not cool. Kevin McDine tried that with Michael Van Gerwen once at the World. That didn't go well.
Oh dear. So into leg number 10, and another maximum, and a more subtle ferret finger point there from Clayton, and a little wink to the camera as well as he makes it 6 maximums But back comes Schindler with one of his own, and another little finger point. He's not giving up on this idea.
He's not. Schindler is playing well here. This is a really good game. Fabulous standard. Very similar, in fact, to what we saw from Heta and Andrew Gilding earlier. Gilding won that game by 12 legs to 10. Damon played so well, but still lost. Schindler is on one, 228. Turns into 88, courtesy of an 8th 140, but 135 for Clayton. There's a bull, needs 45, and he's just too low in the single 2. So 83 left, goes for treble 17 and gets that, lays up to double 16, but if Schindler takes 88 to be 6-4 down at the break, he will be knocking on the door.
Hits the treble 20, 2 darts at double 14, only needs 1. Come on, he says, he's not out of this. In fairness to Martin Schindler, he's up against a rampant Jonny Clayton. They're both averaging over 100, but Schindler's average is now just ahead of Clayton's. But the Ferret still has a 2-leg advantage going into the final mini-session. It's a race to 10, and here on talkSPORT 2 and the talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel, it's a fascinating contest, a high-quality contest. Jonny Clayton 6, Martin Schindler 4. Ian Danter and Paul Nicholson with you on talkSPORT 2 and the talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel. Jonny Clayton 6, Martin Schindler 4 in our second match of the night. Gary Anderson already through to the second round, beating Luke Woodhouse by 10 legs to 5. Still to come, Luke Littler, the world champion, in his second appearance here at the Winter Gardens, lost to MVG last year despite a ton-plus average. He takes on heavy metal Ryan Searle, and then an all-English affair as well for the final match of the night, as Stephen Bunting, a very popular player indeed, takes on relentless Ryan Joyce, king of double 16. King of talkSPORT Darts, Dean Saunders, is co-hosting talkSPORT Breakfast in the morning with Jamie O'Hara from 6 a.m. I know Mace is going to be on the show reviewing what's happened tonight and to preview what's coming tomorrow night, which includes the all-Dutch clash, all our yesterdays, Micah van Gerwen against Raymond van Barneveld, and what could be a great climax to round 1, in my opinion, the final match of the night, Ross Smith against Josh Rock. But here, we're really being right royally entertained by Jonny Clayton and Martin Schindler, aren't we, Paul Nicholson? 6-4 Clayton, and Schindler, he's doing more than hanging in there with an average of 107, 5 points better than his opponent. He's better on doubles. He's the same on ton-plus scores. It's the 180s where Clayton's getting the nod, really.
Yeah, I think this was very much the second session to Schindler. He played so well in the previous 5 legs, averaging over 110 for those 5 legs. If he can sustain this, if he can get to 8-all, that would be a massive result. He's going to have to win 4-2 from this position to take it to a position where it might need extra legs. Clayton's playing beautifully, but Schindler has woken up with a vengeance. This is the best he's ever played at Blackpool. He's going to have to sustain it if he wants that first victory, that's for sure.
Good adjustment into treble 20 after 2 treble 5s. Left him hanging a little bit, but he's down to 2-7-1 after 6 darts. Clayton, lovely 140, successive ton 40 scores for the Ferret, who has that little purse of the lips as he's about to release the dart, a la Dave Whitcomb from back in the day when I first started watching darts on TV when I were a wee lad.
Yeah, the lad from Kent who made 2 world finals and lost both to the aforementioned Eric Bristow. Clayton, ton there to lead 1-2-1 after 9. I wonder how many times he's left 1-2-1 after 9 and hit it in his career. More than I could possibly mention.
Shindy's in trouble here. He probably would have wanted just to start this session, holding throw, get back within 1. But now Clayton's got a 1-2-1 checkout to break. Hits a single 20, treble 17 for Bull. Doesn't get it. 84 left, back to the 20s and hits a single.
Yeah, 3 bad darts from Clayton. All 3 darts nowhere near the requisite trebles. Schindler just needs 1 treble from 116. That's not it. That is it. This is double 18, is it? It is not. He's missed it just a little bit low. So the door is open for Clayton, the number 5 seed on 64, to open the door to a 7-4 lead. 48 and a double 8 to make 64. Clicked in 2 darts. Closes the door on Schindler in leg 11 and re-establishes a 3-leg cushion at 7-4.
I can hear Abigail Davis shrieking with delight from here. We all know Abby's a big fan of the Ferret. And he's in again for a maximum. He was smiling as he let the last dart go, but he actually pitched it, over-pitched it, and it landed in big 20.
Nobody is more coordinated on the stage here at the World Matchplay than Jonny Clayton, wearing red and black. There's red and black everywhere. Sometimes his shirt blends in with the stage set. You have to squint to realise, oh, there he is. He's on the stage, and every thud you can hear on talkSPORT 2, it's usually Jonny Clayton hitting a treble. Right there, he got 2 of them to leave 224 after 6. His average is starting to climb again, Dance.
And Shindy has not benefited from that break when it was 6-4 going into this final mini-session, because Clayton is still hitting tons and ton 40s, relentlessly so, down to a finish of 1-2-4 after 9.
Well, it was 1-2-1 after 9 in the previous leg. Now it's 1-2-4 after 9. The consistency has returned. 7-4 up, 1-2-4 he needs. There's a treble, 20. He goes for the treble 16 this time, because with Schindler back on 340, he didn't need to go 14 bull. That was really smart from Jonny, and it could be a 13 darter to put him 2 away from victory.
So to go to 8-4, double 16 for Jonny Clayton. Settles on the Yoki. First dart in hand is a great marker on the outside. Similar marker with the second dart. Oh, all 3 have missed, but luckily for Jonny Clayton, Schindler is still back on 240 points less these.
Yeah, Schindler hasn't really turned up yet in this session. He can't afford to do that. That 140 might just be a little bit too late. It leaves him on 100. Clayton's back on double 16. He's got another marker on the outside. This time he's able to use it. It took him 5 darts to take double 16 in that leg, but all's well that ends well, and he's now 8-4 to the good, trying to set up a game with Mike De Decker, the Grand Prix champion, and someone who is into the second round at the match play for the very first time after beating Chizzy earlier.
And Clayton, as a seed, is showing some of the other seeds who've perished early on in this tournament how it should be done to lead from the front. 8-4 up and 2 legs away from a match against Mike De Decker. What has Martin Schindler got left in the tank? It's his throw in leg 13. Clayton has a trebleless visit.
Not really hurt him at this point. He's only a dart behind. Clayton's got room to breathe. Even if he loses this leg and holds in the next leg, he's still in a very comfortable position. Schindler's just whacked in his 4th max of the contest. 105 left after 9. Clayton's way back, but it just feels like he's pacing himself. He's not stressing too much in legs like this. You can have your holds of throw, Martin. I'll just take my holds as well. Schindler on 105 starts with a 16. Treble 19. Found, and then double 16 just missed the way that Clayton did in the previous leg.
But Clayton is as far back in this leg as Schindler was in the last one, so the German number 1 will be back for double 16, maybe for a 13 dart hold to get us back to 8-5, and that's exactly what happens. So 8-5 the score, but now Martin Schindler has got to dig deep and find a way of getting inside Jonny Clayton's head and threatening the ferret throw. Now he's got a 59 score to work with here, Nico, to try and take advantage of a slow start from Clayton.
Yeah, this is an opening here for Martin. He's starting perfectly. A lot of poise on that first dart, compounding his brilliance. First dart good, second dart perfect, third dart planted, and that's exactly what he needed to do after the slow start from Jonny. But here he comes. 8-5 to the ferret. Recovers well with a 137 score in visit number 2. Schindler has got to keep his foot on the pedal.
Yeah, he cannot afford to let Jonny get back within range on throw, and he follows at the maximum with a trebleless visit of 60. So all that advantage has just been whittled away as Clayton looks for a ton plus score. A ton will do in the end. So still half a chance for Shindy. And that's a great first dart again from the German. Second dart just drifts into small 20. Somehow he finds another dart in that small 20 where there was no gap.
He just winced after that second dart because he thought it was just a little bit too close and he wasn't able to nestle it in. But he has got a shot at 161 to get within 2 at 8-6. Clayton from 205 could only score 97 to leave 108. 161 for Schindler is possible. He got the 60. Doesn't get the 51, just a little bit south of it. Leaves 64. Clayton, however, 108. If he can polish this off, he'll be within 1. Single 18. Gets the treble. Double 18 for 9-5. That is classic Clayton. As soon as Schindler starts to get a little bit close, the ferret has the answer. A ton plus check out for the first time in the game. And he's within 1 leg of the last 16 at the match play in 2025 on talkSPORT 2 once again.
And a reminder that Schindler started that leg with a maximum after 59 scored from Jonny Clayton. And yet, when it got to the business end of the leg, there was Clayton, Shanghai on the 18s to take him within 501 points of victory.
Tell you what, that 108 checkout, by the way, the best start was the second one.
Yeah.
Because he covered the treble bed with the first one and was able to skid into the 54 somehow when he could only see about a third of it. Then he plants the double, gets the 9-5 lead, but do not go to sleep at this point. Don't think the job is done. If Schindler doesn't win the next 4 legs, it's going to be done. In order to take it to extra legs, Schindler's got to get it to 9-9. That is a difficult thing to do against a Clayton who's averaging 99.15.
Clayton in for a maximum, and he gets it, and a nonchalant look to the camera with the finger point as he gets down to 2-2-3 to pressurise the Schindler throw. He may get it done this one.
Yeah, Jonny's best performance ever at the match play, 101.9 in the last 16 2 years ago when he beat Duijvenbode 11-6. If he has a really big sprint to the finish here, he could better that. 139 scored, and he's leaving himself on 84 to win the match, possibly with a 14 darter, but he could be stopped. Schindler at 150. Got the 60, but no treble 18. 84 to win the game. Danter could have another 10-5 scoreline here.
Clayton wants treble 20 but double 12. Single 20 hit, 64 left, down to the 16s. He went for 14 for bullseye. 59. Hitting the 25 just to to the south and east of the red bit in the middle.
Got to keep the game alive, Mr. Schindler. What's on the list? Is it double six with dart 2? It most definitely is. Check that off your list. Now he needs to keep this going with breaks of throw. 3 consecutive legs needed for the German to keep this alive, and of those 3 legs, Dance, 2 of them have got to be breaks of throw.
Well, I thought he was up for a break of throw 2 legs ago, after a slower start from Clayton that he's just managed there. A ton from the ferret to start this leg. Oh, Shindy. Oh, almost popped in a maximum there.
You know what Schindler's going to say to himself if he averages 104 and loses, because he is averaging 104 at the minute with 50% on his doubles. He'll think, what have I got to do to get a win here? Damon Heta right now is sitting maybe at home in Herefordshire saying, I can average over 100, I can have 50% on the doubles, and it wasn't good enough. You play like this in the 90s, you win the tournament. It's 2025, things are different.
As I think I might have said earlier, how come this guy's a magnet for quality?
That's exactly what he is. He's a quality magnet. Yeah. People play well against Damon. He exudes class and people want to play well against him. Clayton's on 156 to win the game, and he's now got 6 starts for it. All Schindler can do is leave 178.
Well, the 156 won't go. Can Clayton tee up a 2-dart finish? Well, he gets 60, so he's down to 96. He is on the 2-darter to get the job done. What can Schindler do from 178?
Best case scenario was 138. He's not going to do that. Treble 5, followed by 2 treble 20s. He's better off than Clayton, leaving 43, but Johnny's got 96. Does he need 1 double or 2? First start is a single 20. Next start is not a double 18. He's so far over the bar. My word, that was a Chris Waddle penalty. Another 20 after that, leaves 56, so Schindler can get 1 break of throw if he hits tops on a 43 checkout. Right in the middle, Schindler loves tops, and he loves it a little bit more now that it's given him a 9-7 scoreline, and he's only 2 behind all of a sudden.
Well, we're not done. We are not done. And Schindler very nonchalant as he hit that double top. No histrionics, no mad celebrations. It's all just workmanlike from the German. And he pops in a treble 19 to start the next leg. 9-7 down. Jonny Clayton, he's wiping his feet, but he's not yet through the door.
Schindler has just held and broken in a row. He's got to do that again. So the mental training he's gone through, he'll be saying to himself, I've already done it, I'll just do it again. But he's got to remain tunnel visioned right now. Stay on that scoring, keep this 103.5 average alive with some good stuff. But Clayton on 401, back in the 60 twice. Should have been a max, definitely is, and he'll be hoping maybe that is the last one he needs, and he's got 8 of them.
Amazing stuff. But back comes Schindler, looking for a maximum of his own, and he's found it with 3 on a pinhead. Great response.
Well, that was gutsy. If he gets a single 20 there on the last start, he leaves 168, a bogey. It gives him a shot at 128 to take it to another leg. Clayton's on 140 to win the match. Schindler's on 128, small 18, he needs 60 in bull. He's not going to get there, small 20 is not good enough. Clayton's got 140 to win. It's a big ask, but it's a chance. He hasn't had a match start yet.
He might have one now. He's got the first treble 20. He's got the second double 10 for the match. Inside by a whisker.
Well, well, well. Schindler's got 65 to win the 17th leg. He's got a bullseye. He didn't want it. Now he needs a 3. He gets that. Now he's looking at double 6 to survive. Misses it left. So Clayton will have the double that gave Gerwyn Price the world title. Double 5. This is to take Clayton through.
On the wire with the first dart, good marker. Same just next to it. But he's found it with the final dart. And Jonny Clayton, the number 5 seed, goes through to round 2 after a valiant effort from the German number 1 Martin Schindler. But after half an hour of match play, the ferret gets the job done by 10 legs to 7. That was a real high-quality encounter.
That was a super game dance, and I'm still spinning in my chair because with that third dart at double five, I'm not even sure how he hit it. He had two blockers over the top of double five, and at that point I'm thinking, he can't hit this. Schindler's going to come back to take that leg. Clayton somehow, with a bit of ferret wizardry, has found that double to win by 10 legs to 7, averaging 99.6. We have another person averaging north of 100 in this tournament and going out. Stats, we talk about them all the time, they mean diddly when you don't get the 10 legs in the first round.
So many congratulations to Jonny Clayton. You'll be hearing from him in due course here on talkSPORT 2 and on the talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel. But next up, the world champions in town, Luke Littler taking on Ryan Searle in an all-English clash. Can heavy metal get the job done, or will the nuke power his way into round 2, what is only his second appearance here? Chris Mason and Mark Wilson will guide you through Littler against Searle next here at the PDC World Darts Championship at Blackpool's Winter Gardens.